today because not only has President Trump been completely cleared again in all this Stormy Daniels and everything that's going on, they're in big trouble. Bragg, all these people. There's a whole web of conspirators behind some very illegal acts trying to frame up Donald Trump by altering evidence and everything. So that's an exciting thing. And from a political perspective, this is also amazing. So we'll be celebrating all of that today with your calls. You're all welcome to call in and celebrate this incredible victory by President Trump coming on the air now. So I can't wait. Yes. Oh, man. What a beautiful day. Welcome, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. It's Thursday, March 23rd, and what a day of celebration we are going to have today. This is just an insane victory that President Trump just had on a dime. This is absolutely amazing, and I'm going to get into all the details of this as the conversation goes on. But just to summarize, President Trump has been completely cleared in all of this Stormy Daniels business, and Bragg has been exposed as altering evidence, suborning perjury, and we're going to find out about a whole bunch more. So this is amazing what President Trump has done. In less than a week, they were all ready to indict and arrest President Trump. I was talking to someone came up to me yesterday out on the street. I didn't even know this person. I had a MAGA hat on when I got out of my car, and they were talking to me about, is your guy going to have an ankle bracelet? All this stuff, like whatever. You're not going to trigger me, Bucko. But that was before the big news came in. So the grand jury, it was announced yesterday, they were not going to meet. There was not going to be anything happening with the grand jury yesterday. And the grand jury meets on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And Friday was the last witness. It was Costello. So then that was it for the grand jury. And then Bragg had this whole thing planned. It was just going to be a formality. It was just going to be a formality that Wednesday they were going to come in with the indictment. And then, shocker, no indictment. Trump has beaten them. And there's a couple of things that happened since Monday. One of them was the incredible testimony by Michael Cohen's old attorney, Costello, and the major bombshell is actually in writing in a letter. This is insane. It's being called the smoking gun, the Michael Cohen letter that Bragg was hiding. And, there's also a lot of crimes going on at the federal level with this, too. This is just a beautiful, beautiful day where we celebrate President Trump being cleared again. This story is reported in many places. The version I'm reading to you from is in the Daily Mail. Michael Cohen claimed he was not reimbursed by Donald Trump or his organization for hush money payments paid to porn actress Stormy Daniels. Now, this is amazing because what Bragg was doing was claiming that Trump paid back Michael Cohen for this hush money, and somehow it was connected to campaign funds. Donald Trump's a billionaire about 10, 12 times over. He doesn't have to pillage campaign funds to do things like these crooked politicians do. But the crime they were going to charge President Trump with, while we didn't have a charge, so we didn't know exactly what, it did leak out. They were going to say that he had used campaign funds to do this, but he didn't use any funds. His funds, no one's funds. He never paid for this. Let me go back. Michael Cohen claimed he was not reimbursed by Donald Trump or the Trump Organization for hush money payments to porn actress Stormy Daniels in a 2018 letter to federal authorities, contradicting his recent grand jury testimony. And this is in a letter, So this is printed documentation. The bombshell document has thrown a wrench in the works of prosecutors pursuing criminal charges against Trump over the payments. Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer and the star witness in the case, over which Trump reportedly faced imminent arrest, claims that Trump got him to pay $130,000 to Daniels to keep her quiet about her alleged affair just days before the 2016 presidential election. Let me skip down. He says Trump reimbursed him with personal funds. He later pled guilty to violating federal campaign finance laws over the hush money. Well, now we find out that Michael Cohen has been perjuring himself. And you know what I wonder? Is Michael Cohen going to be brought up on charges of lying to the grand jury? I mean, that's under oath. That's perjury. But he also lied in his plea agreement with the feds, which doesn't that make his plea agreement null and void, and they can go after him and throw him in prison for those 50 years or whatever he was facing? And I have the letter right here. I am writing, this is from, I'll go through the letter in just a bit. Let me finish with the article. The letter appears to be in direct conflict with Michael Cohen's sworn testimony to Congress. So we've got Michael Cohen perjuring himself to the grand jury, perjuring himself in the plea agreement with the federal prosecutors, and lying to Congress. And he has a lot of co-conspirators who suborn perjury, got him to do all this stuff too in all of these instances. Cohen said under oath that Trump, quote, asked me to pay off adult film star with whom he had an affair, and that Mr. Trump directed me to use my own personal funds from a home equity line of credit to avoid any money being traced back to him that could negatively impact his campaign. But in a February 8th, 2018 letter to the Federal Election Commission, the FEC, Cohen's attorney, Stephen Ryan, wrote, Mr. Cohen used his own personal funds and that neither the Trump organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction with Ms. Clifford, that's Stormy Daniels' real name, and neither reimbursed Mr. Cohen for the payment directly or indirectly. In a private transaction in 2016, before the U.S. presidential election, Mr. Cohen used his own personal funds to facilitate a payment of $130,000 to Ms. Stephanie Clifford, again, Stormy Daniels' real name. Cohen's lawyer, who worked at McDermott, Will and Emery, wrote, neither the Trump organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction, and neither reimbursed Mr. Cohen for the payment directly or indirectly. So, Michael, that is what happened. So the indictment against President Trump is over. It's not happening. He will not be arrested. He will not be charged. And now Bragg's got some explaining to do. So we're going to take our first break of this beautiful, glorious celebration of Trump being cleared in yet another witch hunt. And I do want to hear your calls on this at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Back after this. Don't sit on the sideline. Wow. By the way, I was having some phone issues. So if you guys could call just to let the lines ring, I won't answer them so that I know that I got the phones working, because I was having some problems with our phone lines before the show. Luckily, I found out about it right before showtime, but I need to do a test. Oh, man, and by the way, we want to welcome our newest moderator to the chat room, Yummery, our newest moderator. Isn't that awesome? Absolutely. So Yummery's in there. Yeah, so if you just call, I will not answer the phone, 1-888-465-2631 to just do a phone test, because I think I got them fixed, but I'd like to make sure before I start taking calls on the air. And if it doesn't work, let me know, Rome. Okay. Okay, guys. Keep all right. The lines are ringing. Okay, you guys can hang up now. Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You can all hang up now. I did my own check on my phone, but I want to do a backup. I don't want to go on the air and the phone's not be working. So you don't have to call anymore. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All of you that are calling, all the lines have been ringing. Oh man, this is just a great day. Oh, this is just beautiful.
The real estate is selling for the highest prices ever. With so many listing their house, you want your house to stand out above the rest and to get top dollar.
Yeah, so let's see here. Steve Kane Show. All right. Thanks, guys. You don't have to call anymore. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your help. Yeah, so at every level of the way with Michael Cohen, the prosecutors and investigators covered this evidence up in suborned perjury, right? And his whole plea agreement is no good. Steve Kane Show. Hey, hold on. Oh, this is an exciting day, guys.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions.
Where am I here? Hold on.
You'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America NA.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers.
Oh, yes. What an exciting day, people.
I can get you incredible deals on any tire.
And I'm going to get into what all this is going to mean. This is
my number is 954
great stuff.
9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954 977 9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
It sure is. Oh man, what a happy day it is. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian, and we're celebrating President Trump cleared, and the bad guys, well, they're facing, Michael Cohen, Bragg, they're facing criminal charges possibly. So we're going to talk about all that. I've got a huge announcement from Anne Marie's Italian restaurant where everything is homemade right there at Anne Marie's. A huge announcement, and this is actually I'm very excited to announce this, and this is one that you can spread the word about. Now, one of the biggest problems we have under the Biden failed economic, whatever they call this, disaster, is food prices. Food prices are through the roof. They really are. And I've been telling you all, my wife and I, we found a great way to budget for ourselves is getting takeout from Anne Marie's. And of course, the portions are so huge that each dish is 2 meals. And I still recommend you do that. But get this, on Tuesdays, starting this coming Tuesday, kids eat free from 2 to 6 with the purchase of an entree from the parent. So that's pretty cool, huh? Yeah. So take your kids, your grandkids, and tell all of your friends that on Tuesday, parents, you bring your kids in with your entree. The kids eat free. That's a pretty good deal, huh? We're going to talk about this a lot because that's something you want to spread around. Now, make sure when you tell your friends about this, they got to mention that you guys all heard about Anne Marie's on the radio, but they understand the struggles that families are going through. So kids eat free on Tuesday, starting this Tuesday at Anne Marie's in Pompano with the purchase of the parents' entree. And of course, Anne Marie's, and that's still all that great homemade Italian food. Oh man, And Anne Marie's is located in Pompano on the northwest corner of US 1 Federal Highway and Copans Road in the same plaza as the movie theater. All right, we're going to go to our phones. The phones are ringing like crazy. We're celebrating that the arrest and indictment of Donald Trump has been completely canceled. Bragg and Michael Cohen have been exposed. And we're just enjoying it. This is just a great day. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
Man, these guys, these people, these Democrats and bad guys, you know, they are Wile E. Coyote to his the Roadrunner. They have all these plans that they think they're going to get him on, and they end up blowing up in their faces. You know?
Yeah, that's right. Now, it is a crime to suborn perjury. Suborning perjury is if you get someone to perjure yourself. So this letter was sent by Cohen's attorneys prior to his original plea agreement to the Federal Elections Commission. So every step of the way, how many people have suborned perjury, right? The federal prosecutors that made the plea deal with Michael Cohen, Bragg and his people, you know, how many people have committed the crime of suborning perjury and also hiding evidence from the courts, from judges? This is big crimes against President Trump.
Right. This is worse than what happened with the Kangaroo Committee when that woman perjured herself in front of the Kangaroo Committee. You know.
Yeah.
These people, we call him the Teflon. We don't call him the Teflon Don for nothing. You know,
I don't like to call him the Teflon Don because that's John Gotti, and John Gotti was a real criminal, you know, and a lot of people like to call Trump the Teflon Don because they want to act like he's doing all these crimes, just none of them stick. He's done no crimes, okay? He's not committed any crimes. Now, back in the days when he was driving his high-performance cars through Palm Beach, maybe he did a rolling stop at a stop sign or went over the speed limit a little bit. But other than some minor and he hasn't driven in years, so other than some minor traffic violations, he's never done anything, and they just don't get it.
Yeah, they don't. They can't get it through their thick skulls that he's this squeaky clean Marine. Well, the House of Representatives better call Michael Cohen in, who lied to Congress, and also call Bragg in and find out how much suborning perjury and concealing of evidence he was involved in. This is amazing. This is amazing, and now everything that we said that he shouldn't do, you know, these rallies and stuff, he can go ahead and do them. You know?
Oh yeah, things are now. I will still caution the leftists are going to be really agitated right now. So my recommendation to not go to any protest or demonstration still stands because, you know, there was an Antifa found at a MAGA rally and an event up in New York yesterday, undercover Antifa sliding in there. But they're gonna be so ticked because they really believed. I was watching some of the liberal media yesterday. They really believed that by the end of the week, the president was going to have an ankle bracelet on him and everything else. They thought the arrest was coming. So they're going to be today in meltdown mode. So still don't go to any protest or anything. We got to let this cool off a little bit. But this is a beautiful victory.
It is a beautiful victory, and it makes your great governor who came out against Trump look like.
Well, DeSantis yesterday, my wife, I couldn't believe this. My wife told me this on our podcast. I didn't know she did this. My wife and I, not this Christmas, the Christmas before, we got a Christmas card from Governor DeSantis and his wife. And this is a real personal Christmas card. Okay. This was not, just something. This was like a real personal Christmas card from Governor DeSantis and his wife. And we've had it on the refrigerator for about a year and a half. My wife took the DeSantis Christmas card off our refrigerator and put it in the garbage can. And it's sitting on my curb right now with the rest of the garbage, waiting for the garbage bin to pick it up. I couldn't believe it. I was surprised. I knew I was in the kitchen and I knew something looked off on the refrigerator. I couldn't quite figure out what it was. And she threw away our DeSantis Christmas card.
I'll leave you with this. I'm loving my Pillow 2.0.
Oh, are you?
Yes. The only reason why I have to turn it over is because sometimes it kind of gets flat a little bit. Dry. I have this setting on my dryer that I can put in.
Well, that's right. When you get your my, that's what you do. You put your when you get your My Pillows in the mail, you put them in the dryer and fluff them up. You know, the other night, my Pillow 2.0 was gone, and I couldn't find it. And my wife had it. She had it like between her legs to keep her legs cool. Like, hey, give me my My Pillow 2.0 back. That's awesome. You know, the My Pillow 2.0 with cooling technology is a major upgrade to the My Pillow that started it all. It has that same patented fill inside, but it has that that cooling technology, so your head, your face never get warm again. And I've washed ours a couple times and dried them, and they're just like new each and every time. And they're buy one, get one free at mypillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. All right. Take care. We'll talk soon. And remember, when you get your My Pillow in the mail, put it in the dryer and fluff it up. That's what you're supposed to do. That's how all that patented fill expands. All right. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
Oh. How exciting. Now, we still have our, we got a Christmas card from President Trump and Melania. I don't know if it was President Trump's first or second Christmas at the White House. I can't remember. I think it might have been the first. We still have that on the refrigerator. I couldn't believe what she told me. She threw away the DeSantis Christmas card. She was so pissed at DeSantis. Oh my gosh. Did any of you guys hear her say that on the podcast? It caught me off guard. I was not expecting that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. Be right back. I gotta go. Be right back, guys. But you'll still be able to hear me. I'm just out in the lobby of the radio station. I'll be right back, guys. Don't worry. All right. And I'm back. Could you guys hear me out there? Oh, how exciting. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to go to the phones right after the break. What a great day. When are they going to learn? What, Ron DeSantis, he blew it. It was, I'll talk about this more, but you're on hold, Lisa? Okay, good. The thing, Ron DeSantis, what I was talking about this on the podcast, and maybe you guys have some theories you can call in about why do you think Ron DeSantis blew his cover as fake MAGA this week? And I think he thought Trump was going to be arrested and that was it. And that the country was going to turn against Trump. That's why he did it. And he did it. If he would have just waited a few more days and Trump would have been cleared, he'd still be undercover fake MAGA. Yeah. Oh, man. This is so exciting. Did everyone welcome our newest moderator, Yummery? She's been in the chat room for a long time. But today's her first day on the live stream as a moderator. Your screen looks a little different when you're a moderator than it does when you're not. You get to see a little bit behind the scenes of things. Oh man, it's a great day, people. A great day. Mm-hmm. Yep. When are they ever going to learn that Ron DeSantis? I mean, that was just amazing. What he did. But when are they ever going to learn that Trump is squeaky clean? So there needs to be a committee in the House just investigating Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels' interactions. Because if Trump never paid him back or anything, why did Michael Cohen do it? Did he do it on his own? Did some of these evil anti-Trump forces get involved with the whole Stormy Daniels, Michael Cohen event? Do you think it's possible that Michael Cohen had sex with Stormy Daniels? Yes or no? What do you guys think? No, yeah. Crazy. This is so exciting. Yeah. I know. It's something else. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is amazing. It's amazing because this has the possibility of opening up a whole can of worms from 2016. Mm. Oh yeah, he sure is. Well, when you're Trump and you're getting a lawyer to handle things with all these contracts, everything in New York, you need a sleaze because New York's run by a bunch of liberal thugs. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. This is our bottom of the hour commercial break. We'll be back shortly talking about this. But Michael Cohen, now this new letter, which is just concrete evidence that Trump did not pay Michael Cohen for anything involving Stormy Daniels. We got to find out what happened. Why did Michael Cohen take $130,000 of his own money, which is a big chunk of change for him? He's not like Trump rich, and pay off Stormy Daniels. Did some of these anti-Trump forces go to Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen and orchestrate this to have something to use against Trump down the road? Was Michael Cohen having an affair with Stormy Daniels? And what happened here? And we got to find out how many of these prosecutors knew about Michael Cohen's perjury. Did the federal prosecutors who brokered his plea deal know? He was facing a lot of prison time. So those are crimes. Did Bragg know and sit on this? That's suborning perjury, and hiding evidence from the courts is a serious crime. Serious crime, And many people were involved in this. This is beautiful. And it also increases President Trump's chances of having a huge landslide. He's going to go up even further in the polls when this gets out. People don't yet understand in the mainstream what happened because the media don't want to report this. Oh man, what a glorious day. Our phones are very busy. Just one opening on our board at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. If you're just tuning in, President Trump has been completely cleared. No indictment, no arrest is coming. Michael Cohen has been shown as being a perjurer. He lied to Congress, lied to the federal prosecutors with his plea deal, and he lied to the grand jury. Now, the question is, how many people along the way suborned perjury, got him to lie? Did Bragg know that Cohen was lying to the grand jury and covered that up and actually helped it along. The federal prosecutors that made his plea deal, did they know that Michael Cohen was lying? Did they suborn perjury? These are heavy crimes. And oh boy, it's just a beautiful day. And we're celebrating. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Joe from Palm City.
Hey, Joe.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm wonderful.
And so am I. You know, these Democrats, they're so stupid and nasty that I think they would sell their own children if they're trying to get President Trump.
Oh, yes.
Put all their ammo behind this dirtball Cohen. And truly, if it wasn't for Cohen's attorney virtually forcing himself into the grand jury and presenting these emails, President Trump may have had a real go of this.
Mm-hmm.
But as it turned out, you know, Trump has said a lot of notable things over his tenure as president. And I think one of the biggest things that he's ever said that has stuck with me is, I'm always right and I always win.
Mm-hmm.
Bless this guy.
Well, yeah, you know, and one of the things that the forces against him in the Uniparty can't understand is how someone can be so rich and so famous and be a squeaky clean Marine who does no wrong, because they're scummy. So they just assume he is, like the Kennedys or something, you know?
They're so jealous that he wants to do good for the American people. It's beyond their comprehension.
Well, Michael Cohen, now we know, you know, he lied to Congress. You know, Bragg's going to find himself in front of a House hearing, since we have a MAGA House of Representatives, explaining how he hid this evidence and got Michael Cohen to perjure himself in front of the grand jury. Bragg is the one who could end up in prison over this.
Well, I hope they have investigations over this and truly get to the bottom. But if it's like anything else with the things going on with the Biden family and all, eventually this stuff will be swept under the rug. But the bigger story today is President Trump is safe, and that's what's important to the MAGA people.
Mm-hmm. All right, from Palm City, good to hear from you. Oh man, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. A lot of new people have found this program. Thanks so much, guys, and make sure you tell your friends about the show. This is the greatest radio talk show in America. I will put this show up against any radio talk show on any radio station anywhere in America. Okay, I think we're the best, and if I say so myself. But you callers out there, we really in the last few months have increased the quality of the content from our callers. We just have a very smart audience. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
And I'm telling you, I just couldn't be more happy. And I heard your podcast too yesterday about the Christmas card and everything going in the trash. But listen, something about Ron DeSantis. You know how you have been saying the last few days, if their people are listening to your show and they see these poll numbers dropping for him, you know, why aren't they getting smart? Well, they tried to get smart at the last minute, because I don't know what this rag is. I saw it on Truth Social. It's called Resist the Mainstream. And they're saying that Ron DeSantis has come to the aid of Trump and is backing, you know, enraged or upset.
Let me, Lisa, I am so glad you just said what you said. Okay. This thing called Resist the Mainstream, I came across that today too. I've never heard of it before. And I don't know if anybody has looked into it. How long has this publication been online? A day? I don't know. But all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? This Resist the Mainstream is all over the place. I saw it linked up on the Twitter, and I saw it on one of the conservative news sites I go to had a story connected to it. It may have been Bongino Report. I don't know. But, I'll tell you this. Yesterday, we got a call from someone who was an operative, an official political operative. I could tell by the way he was talking, not a seminar caller. And that was someone that was connected somehow to the Florida Uniparty. And I'm not exactly sure who they are. I've had some people contact me with ideas and suspicions, and people recognize voices and stuff like this. But Ron DeSantis came out of the hole a little too quick against Trump. If he would have waited a couple more days and saw Trump cleared, he'd still be undercover fake MAGA.
Oh my gosh, and it's great because we've got everything he said, it's recorded for life. He can never say he didn't say those things about Trump.
Why do you think he blew his cover? Why did he blow his cover, you think?
I think that he has been convinced by those, surrounding him that this was a done deal and that he was, like you asked me if he would sign the order to go ahead and put him, take him away or put him in jail or whatever. If he thought that he could get away with it and get rid of Trump as a competitor, he would sign it.
Wow. The thing that, and then tonight at 8:00 on Fox Nation, the Pierce Morgan DeSantis interview airs. And we've only seen like one clip, and that's going to be like the final. I'm going to tell you, last night, I sent a text message to Laura Loomer apologizing to her because Laura Loomer has been telling me for quite some time, and not just me, other people, that Ron DeSantis is fake. We got to, and I thought, I'd known Laura for years and we're friends. And I thought she was, I didn't know what was going on. And I really didn't believe her or question. I had her on the show a couple weeks ago when DeSantis threw her MAGA people out of that bookstore, and I didn't believe it or anything. And I texted Laura Loomer last night. I apologized. I said, you were right, and I will never question you again.
Right. And the cat's out of the bag now, and he can't put it back in. Once the toothpaste is out of the tube, that's it, buddy. And Ron has blown it. We all know it. Everybody's talking about it, and his numbers will continue.
Well, and I'll tell you something. People out there that say Truth Social, not enough people are on. This entire thing unraveled because President Trump posted on Truth Social that he was going to be arrested Tuesday. That happened. He posted that on Friday, and that's what put everything in motion, including Costello's testimony to the grand jury Monday, this letter that is, so Truth Social has a lot of power to it because that's how this happened.
Right. And remember, who's our Kevin McCarthy, after he got in, remember what he said? He goes, Trump, Donald Trump still has a lot of power in the Republican base. Don't be fooled.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah. And what they've done, they've been exposed. So the MAGA base has grown right now. See, a lot of people thought that these prosecutions and attacks on President Trump are conspiracy theories. And now they're seeing with this, because the mainstream media was doing this big buildup to the arrest of Donald Trump, they see that they're true, that this is really what's going on.
No, more and more people are waking up. What Donald Trump is doing for the country, he's waking the country up. We're seeing the uniparty. We're seeing, anybody that hadn't seen it yet, they're seeing it now. This last hurrah of them trying, it's probably not the last though. I mean, these people are so dumb. And they don't see that everything they're doing is helping Trump. It's amazing how they don't see.
Well, it's like I told the caller a little while ago before the break. They think that someone who's rich and famous is as scummy as the Biden family. They've always thought, well, how can you be rich and famous unless you're a crook and corrupt and a sleaze? And I don't know. It's been, 7 years of this? And everything they've thrown at Trump, he's been totally cleared. Every time.
Totally clear. Every single time. And he will continue to be if they try to find some other stupid mud to stick on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Going to stick because the man is a good man and he loves America and he's the best thing going. And eventually people are going to see that.
Mm-hmm. All right, Lisa, I got to run for a break, but thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
Old. Hard.
Oh. This is just a great day, guys.
Doorbell camera. Wish I had them for everyone, but the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloan Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hands. That's not all. Sloan's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost.
It is a great day. I mean, this is just beautiful.
So you need an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True listeners to dial 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer at 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access?
It is a great day. Oh man. But you know what I was Lisa's call was very good. What I told Lisa, this has all happened because of Truth Social. If President Trump would not have gone to Truth Social, he would have been indicted and arrested this week. So Truth Social is powerful. They have restored President Trump's credibility to a lot of people who don't like him. You understand what I mean? There's a lot of people out there that don't like President Trump, and now they realize what he's up against. It's going to take a few days for this story to get through to the mainstream because the media aren't going to want to report what's going on.
Attention wine lovers and travel enthusiasts. Join the luxurious Douro River Cruise.
Oh, yeah.
Portugal from August 23rd through September 2nd. This trip offers a unique and intimate experience. You'll enjoy the best of Portugal, from the stunning city of Lisbon to the world-renowned port wine region of Porto. This luxury riverboat provides exceptional service and top-of-the-line cuisine. You'll indulge in local wines and culinary delights.
Yeah, we'll be back shortly. If you're on hold, hang in there.
Visit BrianPortugal.com and request a brochure.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain.
Oh,
But
yeah.
The biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. BrightonDentalCare.com.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back. Callers on hold, stand by. I want to talk about Friendly Tire in Margate. Oh, man, you know, I found Friendly Tire in Margate many years ago. I used to have a four-wheel drive Jeep Wrangler that had those huge four-wheel drive tires on it, and it was so cool, and I loved it. And then I had to buy tires. You know, four-wheel drives like that eat tires up a little too fast, I must tell you. And when I found out how much those tires were at all the tire shops around town, I realized why I got such a great deal on the Jeep Wrangler, right? I mean, you know, because the tires cost more than some cars I've owned, and that's a fact. And I found Friendly Tire in Margate. Friendly Tire in Margate has the lowest prices on new tires that you will find anywhere, okay? And all the cars in my family are on the road with tires from Friendly Tire in Margate. I just had to buy a new set of tires for my wife's Mini Cooper. Those are run flats. And run flats are incredibly expensive. Not at Friendly Tire. You'll get great deals on run flats. I just had to buy a set of new tires for my car. I have a Kia Sorento. And I got the SUV tires, which are a little more pricey. Not at Friendly Tire in Margate. They're affordable. And right before my daughter moved to California, we shipped her car to California. I bought her a new set of Firestones over there because I wanted her to have new tires. I know she's going to be driving on the Pacific Coast Highway. I'm sure she'll make the drive out to Vegas. And I wanted her to have new tires. She didn't even need new tires, but she didn't. But the prices are so great at Friendly Tire in Margate. Even though I bought 3 new sets of tires, I did not mind at all. Got great deals. You know, by the way, a lot of people that have motorcycles and motor scooters like I have get tires at Friendly Tire. And I've even been over there where we've had listeners that have, you know, lawn maintenance companies, and they get tires on their mowers over there. It's amazing. Listen, give Friendly Mike a call. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. We have listeners that drive 2 hours each way to get tires at Friendly Tire in Margate. I'm not kidding. The prices are that good. Now, when Friendly Mike gives you a quote over the phone, that price is out the door and on the road. What I mean by that is there's no added fees. Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or even dispose of your old tires. So the price Mike gives you over the phone is out the door and on the road. Give Friendly Tire and Margate a call, 954-977-9445. They also do tire repairs, 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Montana Mark.
Hey, Mark. How's it going?
Good. You know, this is God's beautiful sunrise.
Yeah, the sun's not even up yet, but it feels like it is.
One thing that always inspired me with Trump's rallies, at the end, he would say, "In God we trust."
Mm-hmm.
Every couple hours yesterday, I was saying little prayers for President Trump, and this happened.
Mm-hmm.
He is a man that is strength through peace, and he walks with God.
Well, I hope that the rally in Texas is still on this weekend, because this is going to be a big victory rally and celebration, and it'll be a good one. And I'll be watching it. You know, the Trump rally is going to be just an exciting celebration, and we'll get an insight from the president on what's been going down the last week.
You know, it's just amazing how much is pushed in his face that he just keeps walking on with faith.
Yeah, and this is really amazing. Just as recently as yesterday, we thought they were going to put our president in jail, and now we find out that there's been a massive conspiracy of government officials and prosecutors and others colluding with Michael Cohen to commit perjury and hide evidence and unlawfully prosecute an innocent man that they knew was innocent. And these are some very, very serious crimes. Bragg is going to be hauled in front of Congress big time now.
You know what the Democrats do? They light the stick of dynamite, but they never throw it away.
You know, that's true. Appreciate the call. You know, if they would have just left Trump alone, right? He'd be halfway through his second term. He'd have less than 2 years to go, and that'd be it. But they just can't leave this guy alone. And now we've got the big question we've got to answer now is, who's going to be the second MAGA president? Because after President Trump's second term, all of us assumed that Ron DeSantis was going to be the second MAGA president. Well, that's off the table now. You know, that's gone. And who do you think it'll be? Who do you think it'll be? The second MAGA president in 2028? I don't know. And I'll throw that out there. I don't want a wish list. I want someone that's credible. And it's not going to be Carrie Lake unless she is President Trump's vice president. You know, usually vice presidents aren't that important. But in this instance, it is, because President Trump only has one term left. So whoever his vice president is can walk into the nomination in 2028 and be the second MAGA president. So Carrie Lake could most definitely be a vice president to President Trump, and she'd walk into it. That'd be amazing. The first female president being a woman, that'd be a great one, and a beautiful woman at that. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. But if you have any other thoughts on who is realistic to be his vice president in the second term, and keep in mind, they'll walk into the nomination. Now, I made a prediction at the end of my podcast that I'm going to share with you now as we move into the top of the hour. And this is going to sound crazy to you guys, but I want to get this out on the record so I can say it first. And this is what I think is going to happen now. It's going to take a little while for it to sink in, but at some point in the near future, Governor DeSantis is going to realize what he did to himself, destroyed his political future. He's done. The MAGA voters will no longer vote for him. They will not support him any longer. Trump would have to bring him out at the rally and put his arms around him and explain that they were working together and make us believe it, but it's not going to happen. DeSantis is done. and he's got nowhere to go. When his term of governor is up, he can't run, he can't be in the Senate. We've got 2 senators already, Little Marco and Rick Scott. Okay, and they're entrenched. He's done so far as being vice president or president. He blew that this week, and it's only going to get worse after the Piers Morgan interview airs on Fox Nation tonight. Okay, so this is the prediction I'm making about Governor DeSantis. And I think everyone's going to tell me I'm nuts on this, but he's going to realize he has no political future. So he's going to have to angle for a way to make money after he's governor, because he's not electable anymore. Not electable. He can't be a senator. He's not going to be our president or vice president. He's done. So this is what I think Ron DeSantis is going to end up doing. I do not believe Ron DeSantis will complete his second term as governor. I think when this sinks in, that he's going to resign at some point. I'm not talking about immediately, you know, he just started. I'm talking about after the second year, when he's in the second half of this term, he is going to resign as governor and take a job in the private sector that pays him millions of dollars. He's not a wealthy man. And now that he's unelectable, you know, the politicians are going to toss him aside. And this is, I'm going to be very specific about this. He is going to broker a deal as governor to make a company want to hire him and give him one of those fake jobs where you're on the board of directors and they pay you millions of dollars for doing nothing. You know, like Paul Ryan has at Fox. This is what I think Ron DeSantis is going to end up doing. He's going to resign for governor after he's halfway through. It might even be the last year, but after he's into the second half of his term, he is going to resign from governor of Florida and end up on the board of directors of Disney. And he's going to be there to keep an eye on their wokeness or something, but he's going to make a deal with Disney. Disney took a big blow from him over losing control of their own government, the Reedy Creek in Orlando. That was a big financial blow. But and he's going to do something for Disney as governor to give them relief from that blow. And in exchange, after he resigns, they're going to put him on their board of directors, and they're going to pay him a whole bunch of money for doing nothing. And he'll try to keep cover by he's going to be there to monitor their wokeness. I made that prediction at the very end of my podcast last night. I want to make it here too. You heard it here first, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. Do you think that's a realistic future for Governor Ron DeSantis? I think it is 150%. You know, it's not going to be Fox, because the Bushes and all these people, they've just destroyed his political career. And I don't know if they realize it quite yet, but they will soon, and they're not going to have any use for him anymore. Their use was, you know, him trashing Trump and Trump getting arrested, and then him being the big MAGA savior, right? The MAGA prince. Well, those days are over. Now they're going to try, you know, bring him on all the talk shows like they do Pence and badmouth Trump and everything during the campaign. I expect that. But when that's all over, that is my prediction. Let me know what you think about that. Is that a crazy prediction? And in particular, him getting on the Disney board, being paid a huge amount of money. I really do believe. Let me know what you think about that at 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're calling from. 888-465-2631. After the top of the hour, there are some other issues we're going to get into, but your calls on this are most certainly welcome. And don't forget, if you ever miss a show or a part of a show, go to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com. And each day, about an hour after we go off the air at trueoldiesfla.com, the entire show is uploaded as a podcast, and it's archived there forever. And some of you, maybe you've called in and you want to go grab your call so you can listen to it or maybe play to your friends. You can download the podcast right there as an MP3 on your computer, and you can take off your call if you want to keep. You know, people do that and keep your call or play it for your friends or do whatever it is you want to do. It's trueoldiesfla.com. Trueoldiesfla.com. All right. Yeah, I know. You know, sometimes, you know, I go up there and I take things off the show to use as commercials and things like that. So, you know, so I go there too and I use it. And sometimes I listen to the podcast too at trueoldiesfla.com because I want to hear how the show's going, right? You got to listen to it to know how the show's going. All right, guys, we'll take our break for the top and be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Rogue Studio.
Let's see. Oh, this is just a great day of celebration. No doubt about that. Oh, what a great day, people. What do you guys think about my him resigning in Disney board theory? Do you think that's possible?
Here's your True Oldies ABC News Update.
See, the reason I say Disney is Disney needs some relief from what he did to them, so he can use his power as governor to give some things to Disney. You know, because he's done. Oh, how exciting! How exciting! Bragg is going to be hauled in front of Congress, and he's going to have a lot of explaining to do. They need their self-government back. See, right now, what he did, DeSantis, is he set it up so everyone on that board is picked by the governor's office. He can change that. You know. Oh, you missed a lot, Robin. You can rewind to the beginning of the show. I'm trying to remember a name I remember the name now. Oh, he's done politically. Yeah, he's going to have to broker a deal using his power as governor to do something to get hired. The Bushes and everything are going to be done with him. They're going to use him during the campaign so they can have him on TV like Pence trashing Trump during the campaign. But after that, they're done with him. All right, we are back. Callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. We are celebrating Trump cleared and Michael Cohen and Bragg and many others exposed for suborning perjury, committing perjury. And oh, this is just a beautiful day. Well, I was just listening during the break. There was a commercial for the Palm Beach Boat Show. I'm going this weekend. I go to the boat show every year, and I don't even own a boat. It is so cool to be able to go on these yachts. And sometimes you get to go on these yachts. These yachts cost, some of them cost more than every house on my street combined. And now you have to take your shoes off when you go on boats, right? But so wear socks with your shoes. But if you're at the Palm Beach Boat Show this weekend, you may see me. I'm not sure if I'll be there Saturday or Sunday, but I will definitely be there. All right, let's go. The phones are ringing. We're celebrating today. Trump wins again. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Sounds like you.
Hello. Yes. Well, yes. You were talking about the possible choice for vice president for Donald Trump, and my hope is that South Dakota's Kristi Noem gets it.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Carrie Lake's good, but she hasn't held any office, and and everything else. She has no experience. Whoever his vice president is has the 2028 nomination locked up. Kristi Noem's been governor for years now. She'd be great, and she's pretty.
By South Dakota's.
Yeah, that's true. I always get South and North Dakota mixed up. South Dakota is where Mount Rushmore is, not North. I always forget. I'm pretty sure it's in South Dakota. Yeah. No, she'd be good. And you know what? They hate her. In fact, Biden had used COVID to stop fireworks from being fired off at Mount Rushmore. Like that has something to do with COVID, just because they hate her. And yeah, I'm serious. Because, 4th of July celebration at Mount Rushmore is a big boom for South Dakota. Yeah. All right. Good choice. Appreciate the call. I've never been, the thing about Mount Rushmore, I always figured it'd be kind of disappointing. I've been to Stone Mountain, Georgia, and Stone Mountain, Georgia, the carvings of the Civil War generals on Stone Mountain is many times larger than Mount Rushmore. I feel like I'd get to Mount Rushmore and I'd be like, it would look tiny. I could be wrong. I don't know. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. My name is Stacy. I'm calling from Deerfield Beach.
Hey, Stacy in Deerfield. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Thank you. Top of the morning to you. Great show. I just wanted to say something about Ron DeSantis. Nothing negative. I just feel that he is, to me, he rescued us during COVID. What's going on with him right now? Unfortunately, people, he probably I don't know, but when you're talking about him in such a way that I feel that he did justice for our state. So I'm just, I like him. And I don't think.
Well, okay. Governor DeSantis, no, I'm not, listen. Governor DeSantis did great things for us during COVID. He did. I'm not saying that he didn't, but what he did this week in regards to President Trump is horrible, and he can't be trusted at this point.
Yeah, maybe I should really watch the show tonight and then have more of an understanding of, I mean,
I know it's terrible. By the way, you calling from Deerfield. I will tell people, because if you're visiting Florida, Deerfield Beach is the best beach in Florida. In fact, it was the first beach I went to when I was a little kid in 1970. My wife and I, we go to Deerfield. The Deerfield Beach is the closest beach to my house. And my wife and I go to Deerfield Beach all the time. They have the pier. And in fact, on our TV at home, most of the time, on our TVs at home, we have the live stream of the Deerfield Beach live stream camera on YouTube on our TVs all the time. It's the best beach. It really is. If you're a tourist coming to Florida, that's the beach. Well, you know it's true, right? I mean, that's an awesome beach.
Yeah, I lived here for 46 years.
Yeah.
And I think, I've seen a lot of development. I mean, I live in the Cove area.
Yeah.
East of Federal.
Yeah, no, it's a very nice beach. And in fact, our old radio studio was right down the street. It was on Dixie and Hillsborough Boulevard. And sometimes in the mornings when I would go to Starbucks on Hillsborough and US 1, and then I'd drive out to the beach and have my coffee on the beach at like 5 a.m. I used to do that all the time on Deerfield Beach. Anyway, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Just a little shout out to Deerfield Beach. There's not as much to do as there is on Fort Lauderdale Beach, but it's still a better beach if you're coming to Florida for that. All right. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. It's Andrew Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
And then this is fantastic. I have nothing. I guess that you can't make any charges.
I'm making my own list of best beaches.
If this DA, paid off DA from Soros, couldn't get a grand jury who doesn't hear a word from defense to go along with him, I got a feeling if these people were not MAGA on the jury, they're going to be MAGA now because they've heard all.
Well, what happened, Costello, who was brought in by the Trump people to the grand jury, when he came in and testified, and now this document came out, Bragg has been exposed. Costello said that the prosecutors didn't want him to say the things he was saying about Michael Cohen. So we know that they were covering up truth and evidence and directing a witness, Michael Cohen, to lie to the grand jury in New York. That's some hardcore crimes. And I'll tell you, I don't think Bragg was the one going to the grand jury. He had underlings doing it. So Bragg was doing crimes. He was conspiring and getting his underlings to commit crimes, suborning perjury with Michael Cohen. And these prosecutors know that the first one to talk gets the deal. So these underling prosecutors for Bragg got to be worried that they're going to be facing prison time for suborning perjury with Michael Cohen and covering up a lot of evidence, in particular this letter. And one of them very well may go and try to make a deal by ratting out Bragg.
Yeah. I hope so. Because this guy is really a sick puppy, man. Soros must be being sick today. I spent money on this guy and he's not doing what I want. I'm so happy if this is going to be the way.
Mm-hmm.
Should the grand jury decide to go along with it, I don't think they're going to get a judge to go say.
Well, I want to tell you how bad it is. It's so bad that I don't think Bragg called this off. I think the grand jury wasn't going to send an indictment in because of what came out, and Bragg got wind of it. So they've been saying all week, you can indict a ham sandwich in a grand jury. Well, not this one. This one, Trump. I mean, if you can, Trump must be super, super, super squeaky clean if a place where you can indict a ham sandwich can't bring an indictment against President Trump. It's amazing. Hey, Doug, take care. Thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now.
cold here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the San Rafael Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561.
What a great day. Oh, man. I can't believe how quick this got wrapped up. And I know you guys probably too. I was just kind of had accepted the fact that they were going to arrest Donald Trump. Oh, yeah. It's so funny you mentioned Al Rantel because I was just thinking about Al Rantel. I'm gonna mention Al Rantel in a commercial I'm gonna do. I'll do it after the break since you mentioned Rantel. I'm gonna use Al Rantel in my Anne Marie's commercial. I was gonna do it later, but since you reminded me, I'm gonna do it now before I forget. Oh my goodness. How exciting.
Specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Get ready for the ultimate RV experience. Join Giant Recreation World for the 2023 Central Florida RV Open House. Don't miss great deals on new and pre-owned inventory. Hundreds of units on display. Enjoy great giveaways like Yeti coolers. Save big on all 2022s. All new and select pre-owned inventory comes with a free lifetime warranty. Plus great pricing on advanced EV golf carts. Visit their 3 locations: Winter Garden, Destination Daytona, or Palm Bay this Thursday through Sunday only. Or at giantrecreationworld.com.
On the air since 1977. It's the Steve King Show.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. I read a story this morning. Here's the headline. Inflation has left 1/4 of adults struggling to get a square meal. Isn't that sad? In America. And you know what the Democrats would say to that? Well, Americans, obesity is a big problem, are eating too much. That's what they would say. But no, food prices are out of control and very, very difficult for people. It's amazing. We do the Instacart. We don't actually go to the store. And my wife did Instacart yesterday, and she spent like $150. And when they delivered the stuff, I couldn't believe it. I could take $150 worth of groceries into the house in one trip with 2 hands, with the plastic bags, a bunch of bags between my fingers. But it's still, that's crazy. $150 in groceries should be several trips to the car and back, not 2 hands. That's what it is. Now, I got a big announcement here from Anne Marie's. Okay, this is amazing. With food prices soaring like they are, I've been telling you guys for a few weeks, Anne Marie's is a great help here. My wife and I, we get takeout mostly from Anne Marie's, and the portions are so huge that each entree is 2 meals. It's absolutely amazing. And it's a great way to make your food dollar go farther, eating and doing takeout or eating in and taking what you don't eat home with you from Anne Marie's. And Anne Marie's is offering a great special on Tuesday. This is one you want to tell all your friends about, okay? Now, they have to mention that you all heard about this on the radio, but on Tuesday, between 2 and 6 p.m., kids eat free with the purchase of an entree by the parents, okay? Isn't that amazing? Kids eat free 2 to 6 at Anne Marie's in Pompano with the purchase of an entree from the parents. Pretty good deal, huh? So it'll help take your grandkids, tell your kids to take their kids, and tell all your friends. And again, I want to stress that is with the purchase of an entree. And do any of you remember Al Rantel? Was a radio talk show host in the 80s and 90s here. He's a pretty popular guy. Remember him? He did a commercial for a Chinese restaurant. You guys will get a kick out of this, right? If you go to this, I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but I remember I remember the name of the girl who worked there though, because she was in the commercial. Her name was Yim, and he did this commercial that if you went to this Chinese restaurant and you mentioned my name, Al Rentel, you get a free glass of wine. Do you believe? Do you believe some listeners actually went over there? They said his name and wanted a free glass of wine without ordering anything else. They didn't order anything else. They said, Al Rentel, so I get a free glass of wine if I mention his name. Can you believe that's how some people are? So kids eat free at Anne Marie's from 2 to 6 on Tuesday with the purchase of an entree from the parents. Okay, I want to emphasize that. And of course, Anne Marie's is located in Pompano on the northwest corner of US 1 Federal Highway and Copans Road in the same plaza as the movie theater. All right, guys, and that's a great thing that they're offering over there. Now, there's a story here about gays and Disney in Florida that I want to share with you, okay? Here's the headline. Disney defies DeSantis by hosting the world's largest corporate LGBTQ plus conference. It's sponsored by Apple, Walmart, and Amazon after Governor DeSantis cracked down on the Magic Kingdom for the Don't Say Gay law. Okay. This is something that people have to be very cautious of, okay? No one is against gay rights or LGBTQ corporate conferences sponsored by Walmart and Apple and all that stuff. What the opposition is there's two things, okay, that people are upset about. One, sex change operations on children, which is being criminalized in parts of this country, and it should be criminalized throughout the country. Sex change operations on children should be expressly forbidden under the law. That's insane. Okay? So that's one thing that conservatives are opposed to, sex change operations for children. Now, they don't like to call them sex change operations because they don't want you to think about what they are. That's how liberals are. They play word games. The other thing that conservatives are against are men cheating and competing in women's sports. A transgender athlete just won the female New York City cycling event. So a man who transitioned to a woman just won another sporting title. We're opposed to that too, okay? Conservatives are not against gay rights or gays. Now, there may have been a time when that was true, but that's something that's been settled in our society, okay? And what a lot of conservatives have to be very careful of is falling into this trap. See, what they're trying to do is trying to get people that are conservative to start talking against and advocating against gay rights. Gay rights is already settled. The reason they're doing that is for a couple of reasons. One, a lot of gays are now Republican. See, gays are not oppressed or discriminated against in our society. There was a time when they were, but they no longer are. So a lot of gays have become Republicans for a number of reasons, but a lot of it has to do with financial. Gays do very well in this country financially, in large part because they don't have kids. A lot do, but most don't. And the largest expense in my family is my daughter, right? Even though my daughter is 24 years old now, she's still the biggest expense in my budget with my wife and I's budget, right? And that's just the way it is. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you the way it is. And gays, since most gays don't have kids, they got a lot of extra money to spend. And they certainly don't like it to spend it by supporting a bunch of freeloader government programs, okay? And a lot of gays have become Republicans because of that. The gays for Trump. That's why there's so many. And the Democrats, a lot of what the Democrats are doing is to try to cause divisions where there aren't none. I think even most gays are against sex change operations on children. And I'll tell you this, I find it a little offensive that they consider that part of gay rights now. I think most gays are also opposed to biological men competing in women's sports because so many of the female athletes are gay on top of it, right? Come on. Softball and all that stuff, give me a break. The basketball, women's golf, So, yeah. So don't fall into this trap where you're arguing against gay rights or gay issues or LGBT corporate events. All right. That's not the issue at all. And you know what? They know it. It's a trap that they are trying to set up for us. Don't fall into the traps. They're trying to cause all kinds of debates. They're trying to bring back racial debates. Okay. There was some lunatic, black activist, racist, who was speaking at some event that was carried on C-SPAN that talked about killing white people, and that's making the rounds. Some isolated idiot that owns some tiny little racist bookstore somewhere where 3 people go to shop a week, and they're trying to get a whole dialogue going so they can get blacks going against whites, because so many blacks have become Republicans over the years as well, because we also have financial equality in this country for the first time. And we have a very large black, not just middle class, but there's a lot of rich black people too. And when people become middle class and above, they tend to become Republicans because they work hard for their money and appreciate the good life that they've worked hard for. And they don't like paying for all these freeloader bums with the government program. So they're like fiscally conservative. Same things happen with gays. So a lot of these things are traps the Democrats are doing to bring back old debates to try to get gays and blacks to come back home to the Democrat Party as we move into election season. All right, we're going to take our break at the bottom of the hour. We got a guest coming up later in the next half hour, in the last segment of this hour. And we'll continue all of our discussion that we've had so far. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Back after this. I'm going to put my mic on my glasses like I did yesterday. It seemed to work out pretty well. There we go.
We got a sequel next.
Yes. These Anne Marie's commercials are making me so hungry. My stomach's been growling. Oh, man, I tell you. I'm just reading through some stories I'm going to talk about when we get back. You've destroyed phones with a lawnmower? You ran over cell phones with a lawnmower? Oh, my goodness. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, hitting the like button helps a lot, guys. Sometimes during the breaks, I just rest my voice a little bit. I talk so much. The radio show, my podcast, I record commercials, plus I got to talk in live. So sometimes during the breaks, I got to rest my voice, especially towards the middle or end of the week. It's like a lot of times singers that are on concert tours don't talk when they're not performing. It's kind of like that. You got to rest your instrument. Like right now, my jaws are sore, like right here, because I talk so much. It does sometimes, yeah. I was recording commercials this morning before I came in. One of them was just playing a little while ago for Sloman's doorbell camera. So, I do recordings before I come in, in the mornings. All right, it's the last commercial. Then we'll be back. Yeah, you run over cell phones with hammers. Why don't you do what Hillary does? Break them with hammers, right?
Back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, welcome back. Oh, man, just a great day of celebration. I'm Brian. Steve joining us. Hey, Steve. We're doing great. We're doing great. And just a great day of celebration. Not only has President Trump been cleared, and there will be no indictment or arrest, the evil forces that have been coming out against him may very well find themselves in jail. And that includes Bragg. So this is a great day. Yeah, and I'll do a quick recap on it because it is humongous. Now, the grand jury in New York meets 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So on Friday, they had the last witness, which was Costello. He was brought in by the Trump people and was at one time Michael Cohen's lawyer. So that was it. So they heard the testimony, the grand jury, where he totally exposed Michael Cohen. We talked about that on Tuesday's show. And there was some evidence introduced that Costello said that the prosecutors didn't want, but he did it anyway. So yesterday was the first day the grand jury was back, and we were supposed to get the indictment yesterday out of New York for President Trump. And then all of a sudden, Bragg didn't convene the grand jury. And now we know why. A letter came out that was concrete, documented evidence from Michael Cohen that Michael Cohen said that Stormy Daniels came to him and he paid her $130,000. He never told Trump about it. And Trump never reimbursed him either personally or through any of his entities, like his company or campaign. So what we found out is that Michael Cohen has lied to Congress about that, lied to Bragg, lied to the grand jury, lied to the federal prosecutors that he made his plea deal with, and he's perjured himself countless times to Congress, the New York prosecutors and federal prosecutors at the Justice Department, but also that these prosecutors along the way have been suborning perjury and covering up this evidence. So not only was Trump totally cleared, these evil people that have been going after him, like Bragg, could very well find themselves going to prison. So this is a great day, Steve. Yeah, they do. I know. I mean, I was totally, I accepted that Trump was going to be arrested. It was hard to believe at first, but I wrapped my mind around it, and now it looks like he's not. Well, we know he's not. Yes, we know it. Yes, we know it. Yeah, we know it. Now that this letter has come forward, and Bragg realized that this grand jury, you can indict a ham sandwich in a grand jury, but not an innocent Trump. And the grand jury, obviously, what's happened here with Costello's testimony in this letter, this new evidence with this letter that showed Michael Cohen's been lying all along, came out. The grand jury was not going to come back with an indictment against a president of the United States. So Bragg just didn't have the grand jury meet. Bragg right now is in a panic. He's in a panic because he's been busted suborning perjury. In fact, Costello said on Tucker Carlson Monday night, and remember, Costello, Michael Cohen's former attorney, he testified to the New York grand jury on Monday. He went on Tucker Carlson on Monday night and said that the prosecutors, the Bragg prosecutors, did not want him to share this with the grand jury, but he did it anyway. He defied them, and boom, they've all. And now that we have the document, the letter that shows that Michael Cohen was lying, and we know that Bragg was hiding the letter from the grand jury. This is just amazing. Well, the next, I would think the next thing would be the House of Representatives, who's been talking this week about having Bragg testify. My guess is they're going to have Bragg testify very specifically about him hiding evidence and suborning perjury with Michael Cohen. So I don't know who would bring charges against Bragg. I don't know if the Merrick Garland Justice Department is going to be humiliated into it, or if it would have to come from New York, but Bragg could end up in jail. And Michael Cohen's in big trouble on several levels because he lied to Congress about this Stormy Daniels incident and Trump's role in it. And now we control the House. So he lied to the House about this before. So the House of Representatives are going to call Michael Cohen in about this. And lying to Congress is a crime. You can go to prison for that. So Michael Cohen's plea agreement was based on a lie. So his plea agreement that got him just a short time in jail when he was facing like 46 years or something crazy, his plea agreement would be null and void. He could be facing 50 years in prison now, Michael Cohen. So I mean, this is a great day. Yeah. Well, I'm celebrating now. Well, our number is 1-888-GO Kane 1-888-465-2631. It does not get better than this. And they just, if they just would have left Trump alone and stopped with all of these ridiculous witch hunts, he'd be more than halfway through his second term. We only have 2 terms for our presidents, and he'd be out of their hair. But what they've done is they made him more popular. Now, there's another thing to celebrate today, but don't start celebrating this until after we go off the air at 9 o'clock. Newsmax, as of today, is back on DirecTV and AT&T Uverse. So no, I don't think so. This was amazing. I think this, okay. So AT&T, which also owns DirecTV, canceled DirecTV from both AT&T Cable and DirecTV. They had done this to One America News. And AT&T, I think the backlash they have gotten over this was so huge that they reversed their decision, because I still have Xfinity, so I still have Newsmax on my cable, even though they were canceled by DirecTV and AT&T. And I also have the app, on my TV and stuff, so I can watch them there. But since this happened, which has been weeks and weeks ago, Newsmax has been doing nonstop call AT&T, and they had a number and a website, call AT&T and let them know you're upset. And people have been doing that. And people have actually been canceling their DirecTV and AT&T Uverse cable over this in protest. And I think that the conservative backlash of canceling DirecTV and AT&T cable got AT&T to reverse their decision. I know that the cover story, we finally reached an agreement on terms, blah, blah, blah. No, they canceled them because they didn't want the Trump rallies on television, and Newsmax carries all the Trump rallies. But the pressure put on by the consumer got them to bring Newsmax back. I am in shock at that. That, to me, that's more shocking than Trump not being indicted by the grand jury. That's something that I didn't think would happen. A lot of people didn't think would happen. And, Newsmax is number 4 in cable news. That means they're about to catch up to MSNBC. And now that we're in campaign season, the Trump rally, there's a Trump rally this weekend in Texas. I'm not sure when it is. I'm sure it's Saturday.
Trump calls since this thing.
All day, yeah.
Any of the opposition?
Oh, no, there hasn't been one Democrat that's called today. They're in depression. They're in depressed mode. The Democrats are in a panic, and they're in a state of depression. They probably can't get out of bed because Trump's not going to get arrested. And probably this, if you've got a lot, yeah.
Television, and no support for.
No. The Democrats are asleep. But the Trump rallies, there's one this weekend in Texas, which I do think is on. It's going to be a big one. But there's going to start being multiple Trump rallies every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday events, and Newsmax carries them. And they're number 4 in the ratings now. But since they're going to start carrying the Trump rallies, it's only a matter of time until they beat MSNBC and become number 3, because their ratings skyrocket every time they have Trump rallies on. And President Trump, if he would start having some rallies during the week, like in the middle of the week, Newsmax could beat Fox News against Tucker during the week if they carried the Trump rallies, because Fox won't carry them. And Newsmax becoming number 3 in cable news might shake up Fox News to get back on track with what they're supposed to do. All right, listen, we're going to take our break. If you're on hold, stand by. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show. We got a guest coming up. I got an apology. I'm going to make an apology live on the air after the break, so stay tuned for that. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve is here. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on.
All right, it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, what do you have for us today?
Hey, good morning, Brian. Good morning, Steve. What I have today is, we have risks, and those risks, when it comes to our planning, it could be either that we don't live as long as we think. A lot of us think that we're invincible and nothing's going to happen to us. And then the other risk is that we live too long. Oh, I'm not going to live that long. The problem is, you are living longer.
Hey, it's Brian. I'm going to put you on hold. We're in a break. Hold on. It's Laura Loomer on hold.
So not only do we need to have a plan for now, in case something happens to us, in case we're no longer here to take care of our loved ones, so they don't have hassles and have to spend a lot of money, take a lot of time, and leave a mess behind. But also, what if we live longer than we expect? Do we have enough money to cover our expenses, especially our care and healthcare expenses? So we want to make sure we have an estate plan that covers both of those. And as a law firm that does estate planning and elder law, we deal with both of those issues, and we're able to help our clients make sure they have an estate plan that's going to work for them today and down the road to take care of both end-of-life issues and disability issues. And that is also why, for our clients, we do a free review every 3 years. Think to yourself, if you do have an estate plan, where did you even get it done? You can remember the name of a law firm or the attorney. Most of the time what happens is you don't hear from them ever again. And at the Segal Law Group, it's a long-term relationship. We want to make sure that your estate plan is going to work for you when you need it down the road. And that's why we meet with you at a minimum of every 3 years. And if you need to see us sooner, then you just call us and see us. But the point is, we want to make sure you have the estate plan that works today and down the road.
That's exactly right. And of course, the Segal Law Group, it is always a free consultation with the Segal Law Group. If you mentioned you heard Attorney Barry Segal on the radio. And the Segal Law Group's primary office, main office, is located in Boca, but they have offices throughout Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade County, but they cover the entire state of Florida as well. So no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Segal Law Group can help. Online at SegalLawGroup.com or give them a call toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782. All right, Attorney Barry Segal will finish out the week tomorrow. All right, back after this.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is up.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Steve Kane here. I am about to make something you don't hear very often, an on-air apology. Someone said some things. I didn't believe them. I questioned them. And I said, you know what? When I'm wrong, I'm going to admit it, and I'm going to apologize in a very high-profile way. And on the line, we have the great Laura Loomer, who has been setting off the alarm about Ron DeSantis being fake MAGA for a long time. I didn't believe it. And, well, Laura Loomer, you were right about Governor DeSantis.
Yeah, look, I think a lot of people are starting to realize that, and I'm getting a lot of messages and calls from people over these last 48 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were right after all. And I remember when we came on your show about 2 weeks or so ago when Ron DeSantis called the cops on the Trump supporters,
yep.
Myself at his book signing. A lot of people didn't think it was real, but he's really played his hand, overplayed his hand, and I think people see him for who he really is now, a disloyal snake, right?
Yep.
Who is betraying his mentor, President Donald Trump, who he owes his entire political career to. And it's showing in the polls after he attacked President Trump this week with the false accusations that are being perpetuated by Alvin Bragg in this witch hunt.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to get worse because the Piers Morgan interview with DeSantis, where he trashes Trump, airs tonight on the Fox app. So tomorrow's going to be, I mean, it's just about time. You know, what's shocking to me about Ron DeSantis is that he came out of the closet. He was kind of, you were on to him, but most of us didn't believe it. And he was undercover, fake MAGA. Why did he blow his cover like this? He could have taken this all the way to run for president. Now he's done.
Yeah, well, the thing about Ron DeSantis, right, is he could have waited. He could have supported Trump and endorsed him for 2024, and in 2028 he probably could have had a cakewalk right into the White House.
Yep.
But he gets too cocky. Over the last few years. And we saw this with COVID. The media has been gaslighting the American people into thinking that Governor DeSantis is the best governor in the country, and it's just simply not true.
Yeah.
And they've been planning this for the last 3 years, since 2021, and I've been watching it as a congressional candidate in Florida 2 times, and also just as a Floridian. The constant lies that Florida was never locked down and that we getting arrested for violating. I lived in Palm Beach and we were locked down.
Yeah. Well, what's going to happen to Governor DeSantis now? Because he's not much used to these Paul Ryan Jeb Bush types because he's lost the support of the MAGA voters in Florida. I've not gotten a call from a single Republican voter all week who said anything other than I will never vote for Ron DeSantis ever again.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been saying, right, for about 3 years now. But I think that people like Paul Ryan view Ron DeSantis as being an agent of disruption. And so you see his interview is going to be on Fox News tonight. Paul Ryan is on the board of Fox News. They're going to utilize him all they can to try to pull away support for President Trump. And I'm sure there's going to be more scandals, too. They're not going to stop. We've seen how this game plays out, where they falsely accuse President Trump of something for 5 years. And then, after 5 years or so, we find out it's all a lie. The tax.
Yep. Yep.
Governor DeSantis committed political suicide. I'm just thankful that this is his last term as governor. Personally, I think he's overrated. I don't think he's that great of a governor. Haven't really ever thought he's that.
I'll tell you guys something. I don't know if I've told you guys this before, but I was at an event with Governor DeSantis the week before the election, and Governor DeSantis comes into the room and he's speaking, and everyone stands up, and I'm looking, I can't find him. I hear him talking. I know he's about 5 feet in front of me, and I realized I was looking too high. He's really a lot shorter than people would think, which really caught me off guard because most guys that run for president are 6 foot tall. And he's well under that. And I know some people have pointed out that's why he wears cowboy boots to elevate his height a little bit, which is
And some people will say, oh, well, height doesn't matter. But an interesting fact, the reason why we bring this up is because in the modern age of television, ever since presidential candidates started debating on television, right? We have never had a president in this country who is under 6 feet tall. And so
that's right.
That's going to create an optical crisis for DeSantis if he's on stage with Donald Trump, who is reported to be, 6'3"? He's towering over DeSantis, who is 5'7".
That's right.
Without his boots. But look, I think he's done. I think that he really has overplayed his hand, as I said before. And people thought that attacking President Trump with these comments about, hush money to a porn star, as Ron DeSantis said, was going to somehow make President Trump have lower poll numbers. But President Trump has only skyrocketed, and anybody who attacks him is, one, having lower poll numbers, and two, possibly facing persecution at a certain time of their own.
Yeah, and for Ron to say, just on the height thing for a minute, I mean, I'm not that tall. I'm only 5'7", but I'm not running for president. And if Governor DeSantis were on television against Trump or Gavin Newsom, he'd look like a jockey up there next to those guys. And that's a factor visually. And but now, so what do we do now? Because I'm guessing, Laura Loomer, that the Republicans in Tallahassee are going to stop dropping their support and rubber stamping everything DeSantis does, since he's been exposed now.
You would think that, but a lot of these Republicans in Tallahassee are minors anyway. They're trying to change the resign to run law, which I've been exposing for several months now, because DeSantis is still going to run, right? They're trying to change Florida's resign to run law that makes it a requirement to resign if you're running for higher office that coincides, right, with your current term in Florida. So, for example, when Byron Donalds wanted to run for Congress and he was a member of the Florida House of Representatives, he had to resign. And Governor DeSantis would have to resign as governor if he wanted to run against Trump. But that's why he's asking the Florida legislature this session to change the law. He wants to have his cake and eat it too. He's already an absentee governor. How are you carrying out your duties as governor when you're jet setting around the country in Nevada, New Hampshire, and Iowa, and he's going to be in New York again? Right? He's completely given up on Floridians, and it was very deceptive for him to campaign for if he wasn't even going to do the job.
Well, you're exactly right, Laura Loomer. And, Ron DeSantis has no electable ability anymore. He's unelectable for now and forever. Everything he did this week is recorded, and it will be remembered and shown. But this idea that Ron DeSantis is going to go away, he's going to be like Pence. He's going to be on television trashing Trump during the entire campaign. So he's going to stay in office until then. However, in Florida, we do not have a recall situation like they have in other states. If we had a recall ability for a governor in Florida, do you think Ron DeSantis, that he's so unpopular that he could not survive a recall vote if we had such a process?
I don't think that he's reached Gavin Newsom levels yet, right?
Oh, I don't.
He hasn't gone full-blown communist, but the fact of the matter is, I truly do believe this is why Rupert Murdoch gave Ron DeSantis a multi-million-dollar book deal through HarperCollins, because the governor, I was examining his financial disclosure forms. He only has a net worth of $350,000. He doesn't own a house. He doesn't own a car. And so why do I point that out? Because if you're going up against Donald Trump, who has enormous financial success and business success and, real estate mogul, media mogul, and already a very successful president, well, you need something to show for it. And so they flushed Ron DeSantis with cash for this book tour. It's a form, a lot of people move money around, right, through book deals, because you could just say that it was book sales. And then going to have millions of dollars that he and his wife, Jill, that's her real name, Jill DeSantis, otherwise would not have ever had. And I think that Ron DeSantis is receiving a significant payout from Rupert Murdoch to adore.
Wow. Yeah. I'm shocked. Governor DeSantis does not even own a car.
Look at his financial disclosure forms. There's no property listed for a vehicle or for him. But then again, right, he lives in the governor's mansion with his wife and kids, and then I believe they have their private driver and private security, which every governor.
Yeah, but that's kind of, so he's kind of like a welfare queen, right? He lives off that. Now, let me tell you why I think that's important, that he doesn't own a house or a car. How can you turn over the economy of a state or a nation to a guy that doesn't own a home or even a car? That doesn't sound like someone that's doing too well economically that I would want to put in charge of the entire economy. So, Laura Loomer, how can people find you and get in touch with you these days?
I have actually been reinstated to Twitter after being banned for 5 years, so people can follow me back on Twitter at Laura Loomer. And also, if you want to learn more about these exposés that I'm doing into Ron DeSantis and who he really is, I just launched my own Substack newsletter, so you can subscribe today at lauraloomer.substack.com, and you can also follow me on Truth Social at Laura Loomer. But mind-blowing information.
It sure is. Okay, you guys heard it. And of course, on Twitter. All right, Laura Loomer, it's always good to talk to you. Take care. All right, take care. Oh, man, Steve, I can't believe Governor DeSantis doesn't even own a car. That's crazy. That's odd. Don't you think that's strange? It is strange. I mean, I know he gets driven around now, but now you're going to like this, Steve. Big announcement I've been making today from Anne Marie's in Pompano. And, your kids are grown, but your kids have kids. And Anne Marie's, listen to this, on Tuesdays, starting Tuesday, between 2 and 6, kids eat free when the parents buy an entree. So if you take your grandkids or one of your kids take their kids, the kids eat free with an entree ordered by the parents. That's a very good deal. And, with the high cost of food these days, you're looking for ways to make your food dollar go further. The portions at Anne Marie's, even the kids' size, are huge, huge. Everything I've ordered at Anne Marie's is 2 meals. It is. It's just the portions are that big. So on Tuesday, the kids eat free with the purchase of an entree by the parents. And Anne Marie's, of course, located in Pompano on the northwest corner of US 1 Federal Highway and Copans Road, in the same plaza as the movie theater. By the way, guys, make sure you tell all your friends about this incredible deal. Kids eat free with the purchase of an entree by the parents at Anne Marie's on Tuesday between 2 and 6. Pretty good deal. All right, we got 1 hour to go. Call us on hold, standby. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening to us from. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, is here. And don't forget, Alexa, play True Oldies FLA. Hey, Google, play True Oldies FLA. There you go. We'll be right back.
WNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Rogue Studio. Injured recently? Call the...
I knocked my mic off my glasses. I hope that didn't blow your eardrums out. You know, I'll tell you why that's not petty. Someone said we're getting petty. A lot was made of the Clintons not owning a house. Ever. The Clintons' first house was the Chappaqua house when they left the White House. I mean, think about it. This isn't New York City. How many adults, how many grown men don't own a car? Right? That's strange. Even Obama owned a car, right? He, kept it in his garage in Chicago. It is very bizarre. Get me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Really? How are you a professional male who doesn't live in New York City that has 2 young kids and a wife? Yeah, Loomer's always good. I think that chances are very high of Bragg being charged. Yeah, 3 kids, yes. 3 kids, a wife, 43 years old, no car, no house. Now tell me, yes or no, are you shocked that Ron DeSantis doesn't own a car and a house? Does that shock anyone? It shocked me. I was surprised to hear that. I just assumed he at least had a house. I know he lives at the guy. Yeah. No, Philip says no. Most people say yes. Shocked. I saw 1 no and the rest are yes. 2 no's. Most people are shocked.
The sales event will be held on one location only. City Key of Greater Orlando, just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot. City Key presents the
Yeah.
Orlando 500. The race to 500 units is on. And the prize for every purchase, everyone's a winner. TVs, iPads, gift cards,
No, Laura Loomer said he's worth 300 and some thousand, which I mean, that's not poor, but
location on City Key of Greater Orlando, just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot. Visit citykia.com. Make that switch to City Key.
yeah, this one I recorded before the show.
And you get a doorbell camera. Wish I had them for everyone, but the first 42 oldest channel listeners who call 1-833 283-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hands. That's not all. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer at 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you're looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, flown in fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself.
Oh, man.
Chowderheads, located in the Jupiter Plaza on Southwest Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
Experience the boating lifestyle.
We're coming back. This is the last commercial. Here we are. Hold on. I hit the mic. Sorry, guys. All right. Welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve is here. Our number 1-888 Go Kane 1-888-465-2631. If you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot. I'll just summarize real quick. President Trump has been cleared of any wrongdoing in New York. No indictment, no arrest. Bragg has been exposed for suborning perjury and very well may go to prison over this. And news at Mar-a-Lago may be listening to us. We have an open line for you, Mr. President. And so this is great news. And that'd be awesome. Yeah. He could call in every day. Chronic Don from Mar-a-Lago. That'd be awesome. Yeah. He could replace Richie the bus driver, you know? Yeah. Or he could just or they could just stop in. I mean, you know, it's just a short drive here from Mar-a-Lago. You could just stop in, Mr. President. There's an open door here for you any day of the week. And also some other good news. Newsmax back on DirecTV and AT&T Uverse. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Helen from Kansas.
Oh, hey, Helen.
Well, we've got 2 sons and a son-in-law, and they own their own car.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and they're younger than DeSantis.
Yeah.
What's his problem?
Well, listen, I don't want to get petty with Ron DeSantis. I'm not starting a Ron DeSantis hate group here, or hate club, okay? But the last time I remember someone at that level not owning a house or a car, it was Bill and Hillary Clinton. The first house they owned was after he left the White House. Even Obama owned a car when he was elected president. It was a Ford Escape Hybrid, and it was in his garage in Chicago while he was president. And everyone knows Biden has the Corvette right next to the classified documents in the garage. And, you know, and I remember when President Trump, you know, there used to be photographs of him in the newspaper with, I don't know, was that a Lamborghini or that he used to drive? Does anyone remember? There was pictures like in the Palm Beach Post from time to time of him getting gas in his cars and stuff. It was pretty cool. But I thought that was interesting. You know, you missed an interesting call from Helen on Friday, Steve. You weren't with us. Helen called in and told us that Jesus isn't a Jew. Oh, you're walking it back now. You're walking. It's true. She said it. She said she's walking it back now. Okay, good. You got it.
He's both of the.
All right. No. You're not going to walk it back, Helen. She tried, but she said it. We had a long conversation about it. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, my name is Terry. I live in Hollywood.
Hey.
I want to tell you, if somebody loves Donald Trump more than you do, it's me.
No, that's not possible.
Love. It's possible, I'm telling you.
How is that possible?
Oh, it is, because it is. And also, I want to tell you something. I'm so scared because the way they were talking about, I listen to other channels also. Michelle Obama is just waiting and waiting and waiting. They're working on her. He's going to come out. She's going to come sooner or later. She's going to run as a Democrat.
Well, you know,
I share a similar concern. I think she is the one that nobody's talking about, but that's the one I watch a little bit.
Why would you be worried about that?
She's someone that has more going for her than people give her credit for.
Well, I'll tell you. Okay, Michelle Obama has never had a job. Okay, she had a fake job. Her boss was Valerie Jarrett, and it was one of those fake jobs for the hospital district in Chicago. When she has never, yeah.
Do you think Democrats care? As long as they're black, as long as the name is Obama, they vote for him.
Well, no, Democrats don't care. Democrats vote for a segregationist, Joe Biden, right? Who eulogized a Klansman at his funeral. Okay. No. But Michelle Obama has never had a job. She's never worked for a living. You think she's going to do something like a full-time job, like run for president? I don't see it. I don't see it.
In order to destroy Donald Trump, that's what they're going to do. That's my feeling. And the other thing I want to say, I still love DeSantis. Please don't destroy him. He did a lot good for Florida. He did a lot. He's immature. He's a very young guy. You know, he got to his head. But I'm sure he'll come back. He's going to back up Donald Trump. And I still love him a lot.
Okay. I don't like criticizing Ron DeSantis, and we got to be careful not to get carried away about it. But he did some big damage, and this Piers Morgan interview that's going to air tonight, that's going to be bad too.
This shows immaturity, but he learned his lesson. I'm sure he's going to back up Donald Trump, and I still love him.
Okay. All right. So from Hollywood, Florida, appreciate the call. Yep.
You're asking for the vice president for Donald Trump. You know who is good? I don't know his name. I cannot remember. It's very hard. It's the Indian guy who is running for presidency. What's his name?
Oh, yeah. The guy that they have on Fox all the time. I'd forgotten his name. It starts with a V. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He's the best vice president for Donald Trump.
What, where is your accent from? You have an accent. What kind of accent is this?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn? Come on. This is not a Brooklyn accent. Is this a Brooklyn accent, Steve?
Yes, it is.
Portions of Brooklyn, yes.
AOC's from, she's from I don't know. This does not sound like a Brooklyn accent, but I believe you. You're a good lady.
Country.
The old country of Brooklyn. All right. Okay. Hey.
And the Indian guy is great for the vice president.
I don't know anything about him other than he's on Fox all the time. And I mean, so I wouldn't say him.
He loves Donald Trump. He loves him.
Well, a lot of people say that, and then we find out that they're liars. Scaramucci, Michael Cohen. Piers Morgan was the celebrity apprentice with Donald Trump, and now he's trashing President Trump on this interview tonight.
He's disgusting. I never listened to him. He's just a disgusting person.
All right. Hey, listen, from Brooklyn to Hollywood to us. Welcome. Thanks for the call. All right, we'll take our break and be back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call
There's a new Hunter story that is amazing. I'm going to get to it after the break. Bruce Willis was amazing. It was the first season of Miami Vice Bruce Willis was in. And I remember when that aired originally, I'm like, this guy, who is this guy? You know, and that is a great. He played an arms dealer who beat his wife. He was so good in Miami Vice. Mm-hmm. That's right. You met Bruce Willis? Wow. I was surprised in that video that they released of him. He's missing a front tooth. Bruce Willis, did you see that? And he really didn't talk in it, so he must be pretty bad off. Not from Brooklyn originally, yeah. Yeah. I said Pierce Morgan. Piers, please. He's a traitor too. Trump did nothing but make him famous in America, and look at him. Yeah, the Bruce Willis video, I saw that. Yeah, Bruce Willis was an arms dealer in Miami Vice, and he was selling shoulder-based missiles. I loved moonlighting until the end. It got weird moonlighting at the end when they brought Mark Harmon in. But I'm a big Bruce Willis fan. Oh yeah. I remember seeing I got all the Die Hard movies, the original 3. You know, I got all those. The new ones are no good, but Die Hard's like my favorite Christmas movie. Watch it every year. Every New Year's or every Christmas Eve, not New Year, every Christmas Eve, I post the same meme and Nakatomi Tower, and it's exploded. The meme, I'm sure you all have seen it. Never forget Nakatomi Tower, Christmas Eve, 1988. I post that every Christmas Eve. All right. Oh, man, Steve, I got a new Hunter Biden story. Oh, boy, this is a good one. We'll get to it in a minute. But I first want to tell everyone about my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, and his laser away pain treatment. I want to tell you guys, his laser away pain treatment, there's no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime, and it will rid you of your pain like it did with me. I've been talking about it for a long time now. It works. It's so exciting. You know, when you're living with pain, it's tough. You know, living with pain, you know, my knee pain and my arthritis pain that Dr. Appleton rid me of, it hurt all the time, but it's also exhausting. You don't want to do anything. You're in pain. It was the pain that was so bad, you just want to go to sleep, you know? And that's not how life has to be. If you are suffering from pain, you don't have to. Call Dr. Philip Appleton. His laser away pain treatment works on so many types of pain: fibromyalgia, spinal stenosis, sciatica, tinnitus, neck injuries, back injuries, any joint like my knee or injury or my arthritis in my knuckle, any joint, repetitive motion injuries, strains and sprains, work injuries, sports injuries, bursitis, herniated disc, rotary tears. If you're in pain, Dr. Appleton can help. He's a chiropractic physician, and he'll do with you what he did with me: rid you of pain and give you your life back. He's open 6 days a week. 6th day, of course, is Saturday. Appointments are not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome, because Dr. Appleton knows when you're in pain, you need help, you need relief, and you need it now. So you can find him online at AppletonChiro.com or give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. All right, so we got a new Hunter Biden story. This is courtesy of Miranda Devine, author of the must-read book, Laptop from Hell. Okay, and I always recommend, if you get Laptop from Hell, get the audio book. I've got both the audio and the Kindle, and hearing it read by the dramatic actor that reads it, it's intense. I mean, it's like it's really, Steve, it's like a true crime novel / spy novel. I mean, these are some hardcore criminals, and there's not a moment in Biden's adult life that he wasn't doing crime. And his son was so kind to detail it all on his laptop and then leave it at the computer repair shop. You know, I mean, this is, you know, criminals don't usually, you know, what makes it so interesting, criminals usually don't document their crimes. And while
They don't view themselves as criminals.
Well, I think Hunter and his daughter both, okay? Hunter detailed everything in the laptops and left them there on purpose. And his sister, Ashley, wrote a bunch of things down in her diary and left it behind at the rehab. They hate their dad. They get angry at him, and they do these things to act out. And I think in large part is because Joe loves Bo. And the other two, you never hear him talk about the other two. He's always Bo this, Bo that. He never talks about Ashley. He never talks about Hunter unless he's denying any knowledge of any crimes Hunter's involved in. And I think they got a lot of daddy issues. But anyway, there's a news story, which I have never heard before. Listen to this. This is Miranda Devine, and it's an article in today's New York Post. Hunter Biden had an FBI mole named One Eye who tipped off his Chinese business partners that they were under investigation. This is according to an Israeli energy expert arrested in Cyprus last month on gun running charges. The House Oversight Committee is investigating the explosive claims by Dr. Gal Luft. He's an ex-Israeli Defense Forces lieutenant colonel with deep intelligence ties in Beijing and Washington. He says he was arrested to stop him from revealing what he knows about the Biden family and FBI corruption. Remember, I'm reading, Miranda Devine is a voice of credibility, right? She's like Laura Loomer, okay? So I'm reading her article. Details he told the Department of Justice in 2019, which he said was ignored by the Justice Department. He first made the claims on February 18th on Twitter after being detained at the Cyprus airport as he prepared to board a plane to Israel. I've been arrested in Cyprus on a politically motivated extradition request by the United States. This is what he wrote on Twitter. They're claiming I'm an arms dealer. It would be funny if it weren't tragic. I've never been an arms dealer. The Department of Justice is trying to bury me to protect Jim. Jim is Joe's brother, Jim Biden. He does a lot of his crime for him, too, for the big guy. And Hunter Biden. Luft remains in jail awaiting extradition to the United States over what he says are trumped-up charges of arms trafficking to China and Libya, as well as violations of the Foreign Agents Registration Act. Through his American lawyer, he said he tried 4 years ago to inform the Justice Department that Chinese state-controlled energy company CEFC had paid $100,000 a month to Hunter and $65,000 to Joe's brother, Jim Biden, in exchange for their FBI connections and use of the Biden name to promote China's Belt and Road Initiative around the world. Luft learned about the scheme. Oh, hold on. Oh, see, the story's getting hard to read online. I guess they're trying to make it so you can't read it. Hold on. Luft learned about the scheme through his own relationship with Hunter's Chinese business partner, Patrick Ho. That's H-O, the chairman of CEFC as well. It goes on. The FBI mole is named One Eye. One Eye told Yi that the Southern District of New York was investigating him or Ho, and that an Asian, African, or Jewish guy were named on a sealed indictment, he says. So anyway, I mean, here they were trying to arrest Trump this week. And here we have the largest spy ring ever in the United States at levels that have never been seen before with the Biden family. And there's not even a blip in the mainstream news about it. And the reaction to it is, oh, that's Hunter's business. That's got nothing to do with dear old dad. Yeah, come on, Steve. I mean, how do the media process not covering these stories? What do they tell themselves? They don't tell themselves we're fake news and we're covering things up. When I was at Mar-a-Lago on Saturday, the fake news had sent out their cameramen to stake out territory to have their tripods for their cameras outside the gates of Mar-a-Lago so they could get footage of Trump's arrest, right? But they were out there. That was Saturday. So they were out there like days and days before they thought there would be an indictment or an arrest, maybe even a couple weeks before, because they wanted to be there and have the camera in the right spot. These Hunter stories with Joe Biden, this is the second major bombshell in a week. And this is all new information that I've never heard before about this FBI mole One Eye that they were tipping off the Chinese for, that were paying Hunter $100,000 a month. And yeah, the media don't tell themselves, well, we're dishonest and we're covering up the truth and not reporting the news. They gotta process it somehow. I don't know, unless they're corrupt too. I don't know. I don't know how they justify not sharing these stories.
What kind of closure did they use on this hearing?
There's been the hearing with Trump. There is no closure. Yeah, there's panic going on in New York City on Bragg.
They've got to reach some kind of a conclusion.
Well, the grand jury will be back again on Friday. They're not in session today. It seems to me right now there's chaos in New York. Bragg is trying to figure out how to get out of this, and he's in trouble. Because the reason I say Bragg's in trouble is he has lawyers working under him that were involved in this cover-up of this suborning perjury. Well, they can make a deal. They don't want them; they want Bragg, right? We want Bragg. The first one that makes the deal gets the deal, right? First one that talks gets the deal. And I think right now in Bragg's circle, there's panic. I wouldn't be surprised if we turned on the news one day soon and found out Bragg was in some country without extradition, staying in some Soros mansion somewhere, like in I don't know where, where they don't have extradition, because Bragg could end up going to jail over this, Steve. Big time. Listen, we're up against our break for the bottom of the hour. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
Not a distraction. Mm-mm. Interesting. I'm just reading through some stories I'm going to talk about when we get back. Oh, man, what a great day. It's amazing. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. I think this is the last commercial. We'll be back. Oh, this is the last one. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's one of those days. All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here, and let me share the good news with you. Donald Trump has been completely cleared in New York. No indictment, no arrest. Everything has been canceled due to bombshell events that occurred. And let me walk you guys through what happened, because this really has not been detailed in the news yet. It's just happening. And the media, quite frankly, are in a state of depression right now. They're not happy over this, okay? So this all happened real quick without anybody realizing. And a couple of things happened. First, President Trump got tipped off at what was going to happen. So on Friday, President Trump posted on Truth Social that they were going to arrest him on Tuesday. That got everything in motion, and people started looking into it. On Monday, the grand jury's in session on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Because they were embarrassed with the story breaking out, Bragg had to agree to allow Costello, the former Michael Cohen attorney, to testify. And he blew the credibility of Michael Cohen out of the water. But we didn't hear too much about it. But evidence was entered that we didn't know about it. And then yesterday, I was waiting for the indictment. I was expecting it. The world was expecting it. The fake news media were counting down and high-fiving. And then, boom, it was announced that Bragg did not have the grand jury convene yesterday. So then what happened? What happened? Was it the Costello testimony? Well, that was part of it. But a letter was found. And I'm going to, and the letter was the end of it. And let me tell you, while we didn't get the exact charges from Bragg that they were going for from the grand jury, What we do know is that it had to do with the skank or Stormy Daniels incident. Michael Cohen paying her $130,000 in hush money, and then Donald Trump paying him back the money with campaign funds, right? That was the charge. And Michael Cohen had testified to this to the grand jury, to Congress, and under oath to the prosecutors in his federal case for his plea bargain when he went to prison. This letter blew everything out of the water. If you're on hold, stand by, because this is amazing. And this is what happened. Let me read through that. This is in the Daily Mail. Okay. Michael Cohen, the sleazy lawyer, Michael Cohen claimed he was not reimbursed by Donald Trump or his organization for hush money payments to Stormy Daniels in a 2018 letter to federal authorities. The bombshell document, which is being described as the smoking gun, has thrown a wrench in the works of prosecutors pursuing criminal charges against President Trump over the payments. Michael Cohen's, of course, Trump's former lawyer, he's been the star witness with this grand jury. He said that Trump got him to pay Stormy Daniels the $130,000 to keep her quiet about the affair between the two of them shortly before the 2016 presidential election. He says Trump reimbursed him with personal funds and later pleaded guilty to violating federal campaign finance laws over the hush money payments to Stormy Daniels. After canceling today's session, this was a story written yesterday, so this meant yesterday, the grand jury, this is the Bragg grand jury in New York, the grand jury has been asked to return at noon Thursday, which is today, to present more witnesses, a court official told the Daily Mail. The letter, however, appears to be in direct conflict with Cohen's sworn testimony to Congress given a year later. So what it looks like they're going to do is present this letter that I'm about to describe to the grand jury, okay, today. They're going to call them in on their day off to present them this letter is what it appears. Cohen, the letter appears to be in direct conflict with Cohen's sworn testimony to Congress as well. Cohen said under oath that Trump, quote, asked me to pay off an adult film star with whom he had an affair. Mr. Trump directed me to use my own personal funds from a home equity line of credit to avoid money being traced back to him that could negatively impact his campaign. But in a February 18th, 2018 letter, which is it's there, the letter is physical thing, it exists, to the Federal Elections Commission, the FEC, Cohen's attorney wrote this: Mr. Cohen used his own personal funds. Neither the Trump organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction with Stormy Daniels, and neither reimbursed Mr. Cohen for the payment directly or indirectly. So Michael Cohen has been perjuring himself ever since when he said Trump had no knowledge and no role in it. And my guess is the letter is going to be introduced to the grand jury today, and we're going to come back with no indictment. I mean, this is amazing. And I had, for some, not for Bragg, and not for Michael Cohen. And Congress has been talking about calling Bragg in to testify over this. Michael Cohen lied to Congress about this incident. So I'm sure the House is going to call him in. Listen, I'm so glad Newsmax is back on DirecTV, Steve, so you can watch this coverage today. Yeah, because a lot of the mainstream media are not going to want to show this because they just don't want people to know. They got the slurs out there, and they don't want this out there. But this is pretty much over. It's pretty much over. Oh my God, The View may not even go on. They may run a tape today. I mean, this is something. Well, I take that back. They may not know because they only watch the fake news, and the fake news aren't reporting this. So The View may not know about this letter. So I wouldn't be surprised. But I'll tell you this. Well, this is really an amazing thing that happened. President Trump did this, right? He made it public that they were going to arrest him on Friday on Truth Social, And his team are the ones who called the Michael Cohen lawyer to testify on Monday to the grand jury. Trump did this, which is really miraculous. He's not even in New York. He's not even an attorney, and Trump pulled this off. I don't know anybody else that could have pulled this off. And Bragg could just not could just dismiss the grand jury and not pursue it any farther and withdraw the attempt for an indictment. But he's got to, now that everyone knows about this letter, he's going to have to introduce it to the grand jury. And Bragg is hoping this will be his out. But the question is, how long has Bragg known about this letter, and did he cover it up? If he's done that there's got to be crime. Covering up evidence, it has got to be. Who worked out what? No one's worked out anything. No one's worked out anything so far as, I mean, he doesn't have to worry about getting prosecuted in New York. He doesn't have to. I'm talking about Bragg too. But Bragg is going to have to testify to Congress. He's going to get a subpoena from Congress. He's going to have to show up, and they're going to get into this big time. He's in big trouble, and it's going to be broadcast on television. He's going to be exposed, and it's going to be so bad that even Garland might have to charge him. This is really it's amazing. President Trump has been dealing with this for 7 years. These terrible, hardcore, major lies, slanders, and allegations, and he's beaten every single one. When are they going to learn? I've never seen something like this, Steve. I just really haven't. And I'll tell you this, though, a great way to celebrate it is the Douro River cruise through Portugal's wine country. Oh, man. I want to emphasize this because it's so important. The date of the Douro River cruise through Portugal's wine country is August 23rd through September 2nd. This is the best week of the year to take the trip down the river with the Portuguese vineyards on the banks of the river, because this is when the grapes are on the vines, okay? The boat's going to stop. This is a wine tour, and of course, culinary events along the way as well. But you're going to stop and be able to go to these vineyards and not just take the grapes off the vines and eat them. You will be able to see and maybe even take part in the process of making the wines. And the view is going to be beautiful and spectacular. Now, if you book by the 31st of this month, which is just a week and a day away, okay, free round-trip airfare to Portugal's capital of Lisbon, as well as high-speed rail transportation from Lisbon to Porto, where the boat is docked, is included. But you've got to book by March 31st. Now, this is a first-class experience, and I'm going to call it a bucket list experience. This is a once in a lifetime event, especially this week of the year that it is at, with all the grapes on the vines and the vineyards. That's an amazing thing to be able to see. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and tips are included. For all the details, go to brianportugal.com and request a brochure. When you go to brianportugal.com, on the left side of the screen, you'll see it says request a brochure. Click that, request the brochure, and you'll get all the details. brianportugal.com, request a brochure. We'll be right back. All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking today?
That low of $1,950 previously. Gold closing at $1,970.10 yesterday, up $30.10. Silver got over $23 the ounce yesterday and closed at $22.95, up 58 cents. While platinum gained $13 at $983, and palladium was up $50 at $1,380. This morning we have a little bit of a pullback with gold currently at $1,967.20. That's down $2.90. Silver down 15 cents right now at $22.81. Platinum down $9 at $9.74. And palladium up $2 at $1,382. So not too bad. Low overnight was around $1,965 on gold. So the the market's just showing very good stability above $1,950 for gold and $22 for silver. And anything getting down to those levels is a screaming buying opportunity, but I don't know whether we're going to get too much lower today. This is a great day to take advantage of a little bit of a dip, but the market's very stable at these levels and looking to a lot of accumulation going on. We're seeing a lot of buying coming in, and there's going to be shortages as we mentioned.
Yeah, and there's a lot of reporting in the financial news today about how well the metals have been overperforming the stock market this year, and it's in a lot of the financial news which is going to cause more demand for the metals, which of course is a good thing. Now, William Youngman, we talk a lot about you selling, but you also buy, and a lot of times people, they buy gold, silver, they buy platinum, and maybe they need cash, maybe they're buying a car or need some money for a new air conditioner. I don't know. What's the process like when someone comes to you to sell their metals?
It's very easy. It's easy to sell, or maybe even easier than it is buy. You bring your metals in, and we literally pay you the cash on the spot. Wires can be sent to your bank. Transfers can be made immediately, but you literally get immediate funds for your metals or whatever you're selling, actually.
Yeah, and it's not just bullion, coins, and bars. What are some of the things that people come in regularly and turn into money, turn into cash?
We see a lot of people bringing in things that they just don't use anymore, like sterling silver sets, sterling silver that they're just tired of polishing, whether it's in teacups or whatever. And then we see a lot of jewelry coming in these days because styles have changed so dramatically that people just have jewelry sitting around in their boxes, and whether it's sterling silver jewelry or gold jewelry, 14 karat, 18 karat, we buy it all and pay cash on it.
And what about watches? What kind of watches are you looking for, or do people bring in that they can turn into cash?
Well, we buy everything in watches, as far as if they're made out of gold or platinum, but especially name brands like Rolex, Patek Philippe, and others that we pay huge money. We've paid as much as actually over $100,000 for some watches. So
wow.
Bring in what you've got. You may be sitting on an antique, very old Rolex or Patek Philippe watch that are worth tens of thousands of dollars.
I would like to have seen the face of that guy that you paid over $100,000. Oh, it's over $100,000 for this watch. I'd love to have seen his face. That must have been a happy day for him. My goodness. Listen, William Youngman opens up weekdays at 10 a.m. He's located on the first floor of the Bank of America building, right across from the bank. In Boca, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com or give him a call toll free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman will finish out the week tomorrow. All right, back after this.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
It sure is. All right, let's go back to the phones. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen. I was worried about you yesterday, so I'm glad you're still free.
I know, I thought it was going to be tough in the gulag, but...
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, but anyways, I'm thinking about Ron DeSantis, and I don't want to bash him either, but he has been a good governor, but you know what? He's had no pushback, really, to speak of. Everybody's been on his side. It's a Republican, backing. So, I don't think he could withstand the pressure that he would get if he was elected president. There's no,
Well, I want to, we got to be careful because Ron DeSantis was just reelected. Okay. So we've got basically 4 years of him being our governor, and we don't want him angry at his constituents. So you know what I mean? That could be bad. We saw during the shutdowns and lockdowns how much authority governors have. So I hope he goes on a rehabilitation tour of his reputation and does, because he could go two ways. Okay. He could start getting angry and vindictive with Floridians, or he could try to win back our trust. And if he starts to get vindictive, all kinds of craziness can happen.
Right.
It's, a lot. And what I mean by that is a lot of times, okay, you'll see a judge who's very conservative, Then they get on the Supreme Court. And then all of a sudden we find out they were liberal, and they start to, Ruth Bader Ginsburg and others, and John Roberts, who gave us Obamacare, because they don't have to kiss butt anymore. They got the lifetime appointment at the top job. If Ron DeSantis gets upset and feels he's not electable anymore, he could cause us problems in Florida. He could start cooperating with some bad folks for his future. So I'm hoping to see him real soon go on to Forgive Me tour.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, but it's just something to think about. That's when he's, when somebody has backing and no pushback, really. You can do a good job, but look what he's done every day of his life. Since he's been in politics. But a real quick story, if you have time. My girlfriend's cousin, he was Secret Service for Trump and Biden and Clinton. And remember the story about where the dog bit the Secret Service? He was
Biden's dog?
Yeah, Biden's dog bit my girlfriend's cousin. And he left after that, but it wasn't just because of that. And he said Biden it's more worse than you can never imagine there.
Well, I'll tell you, we had a sad thing happen many years ago. We had a dog who bit someone, and we had to do something really terrible that we did not want to do. We had to put the dog down. When a dog attacks a person, draws blood, that's it. And it's a sad thing, but it's what you got to do. But I guess I don't think they did that to Biden's dog.
I don't know, but once the dog bites, they don't stop. They usually don't stop biting. I've been bitten by 5 dogs, so
wow.
I swear I love dogs. Not one I had to have surgery. The other ones were so bad, but anyway.
Well, all right, Joellen, take care. All right, take care. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Ford from Tampa Bay.
Hey, Ford, what's up?
Hey, you have been mentioning DeSantis quite a lot this morning. This diversity, equity, and inclusivity thing he's trying to remove from the college system here. It doesn't belong there, especially when it focuses on CRT and Black queerness history. When I went to school in Broward and Dade counties, it was fun. They taught us all about the Civil War and Jim Crow laws. We don't need this equity schooling. We don't need diversity schooling.
Well, slow down a second. What is equity schooling? That's a new term I've not heard before. What exactly is that? What does that mean? Equity schooling.
That's everything's got to be equal based on the color of your skin.
Okay, and how do they do that in a school?
You're a victim because your color of your skin was darker.
I don't know.
So we're going to give you more. It's like affirmative action.
Okay, all right.
So they're really lambasting him with this DEI.
What's DEI?
Diversity, equity.
Oh, diverse. Okay, I didn't put together the thing. Yeah, you got to be careful about. I agree. Okay, what they've done under the guise of Black history is bring in a lot of radical things that they couldn't get in the front door. That is true. That is most definitely true. But you've also got to be careful not to get into the trap that the left are trying to get us in. They're trying to get us to debate things that we shouldn't be debating. Black history is fine. And Black history should be taught, but they've turned Black history into something else. Like when I was in school, Black history was a new thing. Okay, it was like the 80s. It was a new thing, and they would, well, as much as everybody else, but they would tell us about Black accomplishments and inventors and things like that. Now, what they're doing is a little different than that. Now what they're doing is teaching you to be a victim. Instead of just teaching you facts about what happened here on this day and that date, they're trying to tell you to feel like a victim and be angry at other people and hold people responsible today for what happened 150 years ago. And that's bad news. But you got to be careful not to, because you don't want to do away with Black history. You just don't want them to bring in like this transgender theory they're bringing in during Black history is what they're doing.
Recently saw a questionnaire from a doctor's office talking about the kids wanting to know how they feel. You were born male or female, so how do you feel? Do you feel female, male, or do you feel like you internally are a...
Well, I'll tell you what's going on at schools. I was watching the local news here in Palm Beach last night, and they had a story on a reading initiative that an elderly woman was bringing to the school board. And she made a quilt. This was in Palm Beach, and she made a quilt about books because kids don't read books anymore. Things electronic. She's trying to bring books back, which is a cool thing. And I'm watching this old lady. She's like 99 years old in a wheelchair, and there's two police officers behind her that look like, and you know how cops dress like in tack gear these days. I mean, why do they? I understand having security, but they have the security around where the parents are. The law enforcement, in particular liberal law enforcement, have decided that parents are a threat. Parents are angry, but they're not a threat. Parents are angry because people don't like their kids being messed with. And that's what's going on. Hey, Ford, good to hear from you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Sounds like we interrupted something. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Alan Del Rey.
Oh, wow. Yes.
A Trump supporter named Barney works for a medical transportation company. Just giving a shout out. He does good.
Okay. Is that the guy? Is that the guy that gives you a ride? Yeah. Medical, physical therapy. What about your psychological therapy? Who does he take you to that too? Oh, you don't go for that. What do you mean you don't go? You don't go for mental health therapy? You don't have what? You don't have what?
I don't have a need to go to psychotherapy like you do. I mean, you're having a rough time with Trump going down. Okay.
Oh no. You do need to go in. He's been cleared. Donald Trump's been cleared. No indictment, no arrest, Al.
What are your thoughts?
He's been cleared.
He's been cleared.
What are your thoughts that Evan Cochran now has to throw Trump?
Okay. Oh yeah. Now, why don't you just talk about what just happened as opposed to like your next wish? Notice how he's just written off that Trump's been cleared in New York. All right, Al. Say hello to your driver. Your poor driver's got to put up with him I wouldn't want Al in my vehicle. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Sandra from Delray.
Hey, Sandra.
Hi, Brian, and hi, Steve. Just a short comment. Hi there. Just a short comment. When I go to the doctor's office, they always have this questionnaire. What race are you? White, but and I just put in human.
Human.
Put that in human race.
Yeah. They might refer you to a psychiatrist if you do that. These doctors. I remember when my daughter was little, the pediatricians were asking kids, does mommy and daddy own guns? And if they answered yes, how many and where are they? And I always told her to lie and say, we don't own any guns. It's none of their business. These leftists, Hitler, they had the Hitler Youth. The leftists always try to get to the parents in our society through our kids, so they can shape their minds. Hey, we're out of time, but thanks for the call. Thank you. I'm so glad we took that last call because I would not want Liberal Al to be the last call of the show today. That would be embarrassing for this program. All right. Listen, everyone, tomorrow is a good day because it is open phones on Fridays. Tomorrow's Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday, which means any and everything you have on your mind's fair game on Friday's show. So, well, we heard from one and he was depressed and on the way to a doctor, That's for sure. That's for sure. And this poor guy that's got to drive him around. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys, take care. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane has been here. God bless America. And, of course, God bless the greatest president of our lifetime, Donald Trump. See you tomorrow morning.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown.
All right, guys, make sure you subscribe before you go and like the video.